end on a game over, but that's just me.
Yeah,
If Jesse is concerned about his position, can I go first?
I'm okay with that.
Cool. I'd like to go first.
Oh, I gotta kill my soundboard. I almost forgot to set something up here real quick. Boo, boo, boo. Sorry, guys, I made this go live, but I am not quite as ready as I thought I was.
I mean, that's kind of par for the course.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Okay, that's all good. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Pull up the soundboard again. Oh god, he changed keyboards. I finally got a new keyboard, guys.
Oh, how is it?
Amazing.
Is it fancy?
It's pretty fancy, and Danielle got me some new keycaps.
What's the keyboard sound like?
It's pretty quiet. It's using cherry brown switches instead of the blues, which I had before. The blues were extra loud. This is me tapping.
Cherry brown switches is my favorite sex move.
This is me tapping some keys now.
My favorite sex move is the blues.
I like that.
You probably don't hear as much as you did before.
I've been really like getting into like watching like keyboard nerd stuff, like with like really like cool sounding keyboards or people with special keys and stuff. Like that seems like a really cool nerdy hobby.
Oh yeah, so the whole part of the reason that I got it was because Dan got me these new keycaps, and my old keyboard had like a little part of the case that was kind of bent and it was catching the space bar, right? And I was like, fucking alright, it's time to just get a new keyboard. So I got the new keyboard, I put the keycaps on it, and the keycaps are river otter themed. Like they're very like stupid cute.
That's awesome.
They're very kawaii.
No,
Don't do it, Johnny.
Oh man. Alright, so let's see, soundboard's back up.
Not okay.
Gotta get that reconnected. Of course, John gets up
I think
right as I'm ready to start.
I think it's weird and funny, like in an amusing way, that like your wife got you otter keys when she's a herpetologist. Like, I'm pretty sure reptiles and otters are on pretty opposite ends of the animal spectrum.
So, her specialty is herpetology, but she is the manager of the Maryland Wilderness Area at the zoo, and they have river otters. So she has.
Are there river otters native to Maryland?
Yeah, there's river otter. There's a species that's around here.
I'm not very familiar with the flora and fauna of the Potomac River Valley, so
we got otters, and they're very, very cute. And then and she also
Kitty.
Yeah, so she's gotten more into otters and like bobcats and things like that recently. The bobcat at the zoo is very cute. His name is Kilgore. And I like that name because it's like what he does. He kills things.
I do think it's funny every time I go to the Shed Aquarium and you see like tropical fish and like Japanese spider crabs and all these unique animals, and then they're like, your local wildlife. Here's a bass. Ooh.
All right, so let's see here. I've got David opening. I've got Jesse second to last, so we don't necessarily close on a game over if that's what happens.
Johnny, how strong or shitty is your game?
Very strong.
Okay, because I think that should close then. I don't think the request or my game should close.
And then nobody's uploaded bonus tunes yet.
Well, I'm not because I won last week.
Okay.
I think I'm getting game over.
Okay.
You fucking lazy fucks.
I've got my local library here, so I can always pull up stuff. You know, that's no issue.
I will find and upload bonus music at some point during the show because I'm going first.
Okay, perfect. All right. Yeah, getting my VGM hard drive plugs in. There we go. That's right, guys. I have a whole hard drive for video game music.
Yeah, I had that too, and then fucking a cat knocked it off my desk.
Who's ready to start the show?
I mean, like, John, we're what, 300 and some odd episodes into a video game music guessing game podcast? Like, I don't think anyone's really surprised you have a VGM hard drive.
Yeah. All right. John, are you ready to start?
Sure.
David.
Yes.
Okay, you ready to start?
Yes.
All right, Jesse, are you ready to start?
Yes.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Oh, yeah. What is going on, everybody? It's Game That Tune back in the house once again. It's your boy, John Harrington here. We've got John Regan back with us. Say hey.
Hey.
We've got Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey.
And we've got the Game That Tune August Absurdity champion, David Fleming, the King David. Say hey.
Hey.
Hell yeah, guys. Welcome back. Game That Tune in the house one more time. And man, oh man. It's going to be episode 315 tonight, guys, and we've got an amazing show lined up for you. I say, amazing. I feel like it's going to be amazing, but maybe that feeling is going to be misguided and this show is actually not going to be so amazing. We'll see, because tonight what we're doing on Game That Tune, mostly we're doing the same thing we've done every other episode of Game That Tune. We're going to listen to video game music. We're going to try and guess each other's games based on the songs with a little bit of trivia. We're going to goof off. We're going to have a lot of fun. The winner at the end of the night picks the theme for our next episode and plays some bonus tunes. And our winner last week, or the week before last, because somebody, Johnny, real asshole that he is, had to travel for Thanksgiving. Just an outrageous reason to postpone a show, quite frankly.
Boo.
Yeah, geez, live with your fucking family, bro. But our theme that I picked from our last episode is games that made you feel something unexpected. I don't know. Initially, I was feeling kind of down a couple weeks ago, and I was going to go with kind of like melancholy or kind of sad games, and then I was like, no, I don't want to make it a sad show, but maybe you're playing a game and something hits you a little bit differently than you think it's going to, and that's the theme for tonight's show. Maybe you just didn't see it coming, or it got you right in the feels. It's or you're turned on by something you just never thought you'd be turned on by. It could be any number of unexpected feelings, but as long as it's unexpected, as long as you're feeling something you weren't expecting to feel, it's valid for tonight's show.
I feel like I really should have gone with the turned on angle.
I mean, honestly, it could be a whole episode about self-discovery in the age of sexy gaming. I never knew how I would feel about I don't know, just videos of girls showing their boobies until I saw one by playing the guy game on the PlayStation 2.
Oh no!
And, it changed my whole life.
Oh no, John!
God,
What
that game is all kinds of illegal now.
I know.
I mean, it was that too. They just didn't notice at first.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the guy game was the first game from Electronic Gaming Monthly that got a 0.0.
Yeah, the trivia questions were all pretty easy. I didn't really see a challenge in it. But yeah, okay, fine. It wasn't the guy game. Sorry, my memory's a little hazy. I remember seeing a pair of boobies for the first time playing BMX XXX, and it changed my life.
Yes.
Trying to think of I don't know, things. One, perfectly normal boobs, and two, just ways that you don't want to experience boobs.
While BMXing?
Cutscenes in games from 20 some odd years ago. Not the best way to go.
Oh, God, I'm just trying to think of BMX tricks that integrate the boobs in some way,
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. There's the motorboat, but it's tough to pull off with only one person. But yeah,
I kind of feel like you need boobs to do a motorboat.
Well, also,
maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I feel like boobs are a very integral part of that.
No, you motorboat the boobs.
Duh.
The boobs don't do the motorboating. They're being motorboated.
Also,
Well, that's what I mean. Like, in order to motorboat, you require boobs.
Well, in BMX, it means something completely different, David.
When you're on
I
the
never
bike,
played
it's called
BMX.
motorbiking, guys, not motorboating.
Oh,
No,
that's right.
It's BMX, Johnny. There's no boners on the bikes. But yeah. So anyway, point is,
No, cut my bit.
we're very, very horny. But that's not unexpected at this point. So really, the horny angle's out the window. So it's games in which you feel an unexpected feeling. We've got 5 fantastic games. We received some great fan requests this week. I can't wait for you guys to see which one we picked. And guys, we just got to jump right into it. So Johnny, hit game 1.
Game 1.
So, sorry, let me find the tab that has my trivia. Okay, one of the cities in this game, Alfornata, has pixelated sprites from the first generation of this series on the floor and walls of the area.
All right.
All right. So who has their guesses ready? Because I'm sure nobody has the correct answer. So John Regan says the new Pokemon, Scarlet and Violet. Sadly incorrect. It's just called Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Jesse says Pokemon Scarlet Letter. That's close enough. Judges will accept that. And John says Mighty Number 9. No, because everything that I felt from that game was kind of expected, which was rage. Yeah, Johnny and Jesse are correct. This is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, specifically Pokemon Violet, because that's the version that I got.
Could you imagine if Nintendo opted into using that naming scheme of calling games like the new Pokemon? You know, like the new Pokemon XL, the new Pokemon 3DS.
Talking about like Pokemon Snap?
Oh, they did do that with new Pokemon Snap, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Game over!
Yeah. You may have a little bit of the bitch.
Could you imagine if Pokemon did this? Yeah, they did like 2 years ago.
I can't. It's not. I don't have to imagine it, guys. It happened.
Right. We all lived it, baby. Man, I'm surprised to see this show up on the show so quickly. Mostly because I feel like I don't know. I feel like our thoughts on it probably haven't fully loaded. The textures are a little fucked up. You know, having the show this soon, having the game on the show this soon.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm not gonna play this. So, you know, David, have fun talking Pokemon Italy.
Okay. It's not Pokemon Italy, it's Pokemon Iberia.
Pokemon Italy guarded when you hear your family.
What's that voice? Is that your Italian voice?
You know, his Italian voice and his Brooklyn voice are very similar.
You don't want to start a Pokemon? Forget about it.
So, I feel like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet got kind of a bad rap. The game has some issues. But if you can look past it, this is probably the most enjoyable Pokemon game I've ever played. Like, There's definitely some graphical issues. I haven't run into like super severe glitches. But like, yeah, there's some technical issues, but I don't really care because I'm having fun. And initially, I was thinking of using this game for the theme just because I wasn't expecting to have so much fun and have like such a childlike sense of wonder in the game, because it is an open world game. Like you just it okay, real talk. The tutorial is like 2 to 3 hours and it's really long.
Whoa.
But once you get past that, the game just opens up and you just go. Like it really is Breath of the Wild Pokemon.
Would you
And
say
that
that
is-
you Pokemon Go?
You know what? I would say so.
Good. Good. Very good.
Now,
And,
would you
like-
say that this game is perfect for Switch?
I would say, indeed, this game is perfect for Switch. In fact, I would go so far as to say I have a very hard time imagining this game on any system but Switch.
I don't know.
I have a very hard time imagining a Pokemon game on the Xbox One.
Do you think if it was, there'd be a lot less like hiccups and weird graphic errors?
Tell us who to blame for the issues, David.
Well, see, the problem
Shiggy?
is I
Blink
don't
twice if
wanna-
it's Shiggy.
I don't want to talk about the issues. I want to get to my main focus, which was why I chose this game for the theme. Initially, it was like I was not expecting to have that sense of childlike wonder. And then I started like really getting into the game because the game has 3 different story paths. And you can kind of go through them at any point at any time. It's not like if you choose one, you're locked into that one. So there's Victory Road, which is the classic, like beat 8 gym leaders, become the best of all. There's Operation Starfall, which is you have to go around and find
MI6.
like you have to go around and find like the 5 bases of Team Star, which is the Team Rocket version of like hooligan kids fucking around and everything. And then there's the Path of Legends, where there's this guy named Arven, and I'm not going to get super into spoilers because the game is very new. There's this guy named Arven who is kind of a dick, and he's like, yeah, there's these like big Titan Pokemon who are pretty much like the boss Pokemon from Legends Arceus. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to find them because they're guarding these like magic herbs and everything. So I was like, as I was playing the game, it's like, okay, this guy's kind of a dick. Like, whatever, I'll do that last. I don't care. And then I was like, well, let me go through them. And as I started to play through them and like beat all of these big Titan Pokemon, you find out that like Arven has a reason to find these magic herbs because they have like healing quantities. And again, like, I don't want to get into spoilers, but a couple of the cutscenes hit me emotionally. Like, I wasn't crying or sobbing, but I was like, oh, like, I was not expecting a Pokemon game of all things to hit me in the feels, but damn if this game, and particularly that story track, it did it. Like,
I guess you could say it was super effective.
Oh,
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
yeah.
ugh.
The game graphically not great, performance wise not great. I haven't beaten the game, but I am confident that this is my favorite Pokemon game. Like, this game is actually really good, and
Wow.
the story really kind of hits you. At least it hit me.
I'm surprised because I feel like usually Pokemon stories are pretty dumb, pretty rudimentary.
Exactly. I was never expecting a Pokemon game to make me like feel things, and this game did it.
Like Pokemon Sword and Shield, the story was just like, I don't know, you're gonna help, you're gonna be the best trainer, and then also stop people from unleashing like a cataclysmic huge Pokemon, and then eventually some guys with funny hair are gonna come and extend the story a little bit. Like, cool. I mean, now, David, is it a good story in comparison to baseline Pokemon, or like just in general? Is it just is it just working for you, or is it working for you on a level that no Pokemon game works for you?
It's working for me in a way that no Pokemon game has, but it's also working for me as a story.
Good.
Like it's actually pretty good.
Yeah. What about the story of Legends Arceus, where you're a kid who gets thrown back in time and gets to use your phone despite being in feudal Japan?
That game rules.
Yeah.
Wait.
You're the only person with a cell phone in feudal Pokemon world.
And it works?
Yes.
Like, what? Wait,
it's your whole
whoa.
game.
Whoa, hold on. Wait.
Well, okay. It doesn't work. Like, you can't, like, call people with it because no one else has phones. But, like, it does do stuff that's, like, if a feudal Japanese person saw, they'd be like, that's sorcery. You're, like, some kind of demon.
The entire story of Pokemon Legends Arceus should be you being, like, burned at the stake for having future technology or being exalted to the point of being, a literal new god to these people.
Instead, you start talking to Mr. Mimes and alleys, and they're like, okay, this guy's...
I did kind of like that part about Pokemon Legends Arceus when you were like, oh yeah, let me like battle and like train these Pokemon, and people are like, whoa, what? You capture Pokemon?
Yeah.
What
Sorcery.
the fuck?
Yep.
But yeah, Scarlet and Violet, again, specifically Violet, was pretty much everything I wanted after Legends Arceus, which was that kind of open exploration element, but with the structure of like, no, you're gonna battle trainers and like go to gyms and stuff. And again, the story, it hit me. I really wasn't expecting it, but it did. And this game has some really cool new Pokemon.
Who's your starter?
I went with Sprigatito.
Yay!
I do not regret that choice. I do not regret that choice 93%. There's a 7% chance, or there's a 7% part of me that really wanted to go with Fuecoco, and looking at the final evolutions, like, yeah, Fuecoco's final evolution is pretty badass. But I have a Pokemon on my team that I absolutely adore. It's called Tinkaton, and it's a fairy steel type, and it's basically based on like dwarves and gnomes and forging like mystic creatures. It's this adorable little pink girl monster with a fucking giant hammer that she just bashes you with.
It's fun.
Yeah, this game is again, it has its issues, and I will say that up front. But if you can look past a couple issues, it's really fun.
Yeah,
I
We're looking
remember
past the issues. Tell us more about these new crazy Pokemon.
So the game is basically, it's set in a region that's not Spain.
I want to hear some regional variants.
There is a version of Tauros that is a fighting type. You can also find variations unique to each version. Scarlet has the Blaze breed, which is fighting fire. Violet has the Aqua breed, which is fighting water. Girafarig, the classic giraffe Pokemon from Gold and Silver, has a new evolution named Farrakariv.
A rack of ribs?
Yes.
Oh, baby back.
Yeah. Chilies.
No.
I also have on my team Satitan, who is a whale that walks on land. That is an ice type.
Does it have feet, or does it just kind of like waddle with its like fin? Like, how does it walk?
God,
No, it has
what an
feet,
evolution.
and then it has like little fin arms and a bunch of like horns like a narwhal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just this big honking beast.
I just imagine
Oh,
a
God.
whale like doing the worm to get
I
around.
was going to say, but think also, Johnny, about the ultimate evolution of a whale with feet. Like,
God.
they'll take over the world.
God, whale with feet. Like, that's definitely a thing I've seen on Rule 34 before. Like, that is
No.
a whole genre.
No. Why you go there, John?
You're talking about field things.
Jeez. Talk about unexpected.
Wheelwithfeet.com.
Johnny bringing up Rule 34, completely expected. Now,
I do
David,
wanna-
since it's Pokemon Iberia, if you battle a Tauros, do you have to kill it?
It's kept kind of vague.
Like, can your hone edge be inserted into the like upper shoulder area of
man.
the Tauros, and that kills the Tauros?
Honestly, I don't think honage is in the game,
Oh, okay.
which
Well,
is
good.
a huge deal breaker for me. And
Yeah.
again, I love this game so much that the fact that it doesn't have honage speaks to the amount of fun you can have.
I was gonna say, you're being
Really
polite.
selling
It
this game.
knocks it down a few points, David. It's okay if it doesn't have hone edge to dock it a couple of points.
Well, I did want to bring up my last new favorite Pokemon. There is a Pokemon named Charcadet, which is a little like adorable fire type Pokemon. It has different versions depending upon which game you play. Eventually it evolves into like an armored badass knight. In Scarlet, it's Fire Psychic, and in Violet, it's Fire Ghost. It's named Cerulege, and it looks like a badass armor ghost with flaming swords. Like,
That sounds
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, dope.
yeah, I like this Pokemon.
Yeah. No, that sounds great. Do you find it like strictly in like old castles, hiding itself next to other like suits of armor that don't come to life? Does it trick you in that way?
No, you find Charcadet just like randomly. You have to evolve it into Cerulege.
Ah, okay. I was thinking it'd be kind of funny if you were in like a haunted castle and every third or fourth suit of armor was actually this awesome Pokemon. That'd be a good idea. They should do more haunted castles in these games. Yeah, because having these weird little guys just walking around the world, I don't know. It's got to be confusing for people. Is that a man? No, it's a Charcadet. Really, it just looks like a little guy wearing a suit of armor. Yeah, I know. It can't talk or anything though. It's a Pokemon.
I'm sorry, did you say Shark Cadet?
That's what I heard the first time too, Johnny.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
I thought it was going to be a shark, and it turns out it's a knight.
Also, I posted a picture of Cerulege into the Discord chat.
And now that someone's spelling it in the chat, I see how it's not.
Yeah, it's
to be
Char
confused.
Char Cadet CADED.
Gotcha.
I
not
thought-
Shark Cadet.
No,
Like
I thought
Char's Revenge.
pretty sure Shark Cadet is a student of like Jacques Cousteau.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're thinking of Charcadet, which was the sci-fi original movie about a shark invading an art school in Venice.
Yes, exactly. David, this all sounds great. You've done a great job of making me want to buy the game. I'm not going to though, just because I don't know. My mileage greatly varies from other people's on Pokemon, and until I find out that this is playable and not enraging to my 4-year-old, I'm not gonna play it. Like if they patch this and fix all the issues, I haven't told you guys. My kid gets angry at video games when they don't play right, so I'm not.
The game
I'm not
plays
subjecting-
perfectly fine.
Oh, okay,
It just
good.
doesn't look great.
Oh, well, I forgot to tell you, my 4-year-old's also a stickler for graphics, so can't do it. No,
I'm sorry, Daddy. This dropped beneath 60 frames per second. I don't want to play this.
mm-hmm. God, I fucking love this kid. He's he got all my gaming recessive genes. It sucks. He cares about graphics and can't have fun with things. But yeah, no, I don't know, man. I'm glad this game's going over well with some people. It does suck that people tend to, I don't know, look at and just they burn on it for the graphical stuff while maybe not mentioning the fact that like the game's actually playable and very fun. People have a tendency. I don't know if you guys noticed this. People on the internet have a tendency to focus on the negative there.
What? Get the fuck out.
Yeah, no way. Who knew? But yeah, I don't know. I might play this at some point. Jesse, you haven't picked this up yet?
No, but it's definitely in consideration.
Christmas is right around the corner, pal.
Yeah.
Wink. So Tunas, go to Patreon so I can buy Jesse a Christmas present. That's right. If everybody just goes to Patreon, we all get Pokemon for Christmas. I want to know how Johnny feels about all these other Pokemon.
Ooh,
Not
wow.
just the foot whale.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
He's got 6 of those things. It's like the dude with 6 like Caterpies. You're like,
Yeah.
why?
He loves the foot whale.
You don't have 6 of one Pokemon unless it's a fetish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as we've learned, Johnny likes big holes and things with unexpected feet. So
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
where's
at
the
all.
lie? Exactly. Anyway, David, anything else on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? The game of unexpected feet and big holes?
No, I just want to emphasize, like, again, I was not expecting one of the stories to hit me in the feels, but damn, it did.
I can't wait. Can't wait to see if it finishes right, man. I want to know all your feelings about it. And on a future episode, feel free to spoil it because I won't have played this game.
Game 2.
All right, guys. So, despite what many people may be misremembering, this is this is only the second game in the series in which you can walk and shoot a gun at the same time. Well, David left the show. Good, frankly.
That's game over him.
Yep,
Game over!
I'm just going to post Rule 34 Pokemon art in the chat until David gets back. Oh, he's back. I only get to do it once.
Oh shit!
Oh, look what you did, David.
That's hilarious.
That's your fault.
All right. Got my answer.
All right, guys. Jesus. Johnny.
I have my answer.
What's going
I don't know why we're all waiting.
Yeah. No delay. Johnny says, really unfortunate penis. That's sadly incorrect. Jesse has drawn Spider-Man's penis, smooching Mary Jane's penis, which is hilarious and strange. And David says Resident Evil 3. Johnny, hit the reveal sound. Is David correct?
Oh, let's find out.
Resident Evil 6.
Oh, sorry, David.
I'm sorry.
You're half right.
I'm sorry. John, you may have not seen it because of the lighting. Let me just make sure my answer is correct. I actually wrote Resident Evil 3 times 2, which would be Resident Evil 6.
The Resident Evil 3 remake that just came out last year. No, that's still incorrect. No, because this is Resident Evil 6, of course. Everyone's favorite game in the series. A great game that everyone loves.
I only know it as Resident Evil guy blowing giraffe.
Yeah, there really is a problem with the logo looking like something blowing a giraffe.
Didn't we talk about this last week?
Well, no, we recorded that episode of Jim's months ago.
That's
it
what it
only just
was.
got released.
That's what it was. I was listening to that because you can listen to all 4 of them when it just came out.
Yeah, wait a minute. Is it worse to be recording the Jim's episodes late or sitting on them after recording them and releasing them super late? I can't decide in which way our Patreon's fucked up. I'm going to go with actually it's fine that we recorded last week. Because, yeah.
This really does look like a guy blowing a giraffe. Oh my god.
The logo's bad, guys.
We recorded the November gems last week, but this episode we recorded weeks ago.
Whew, yeah, sure. That's the story, and we're sticking to it. Go to Patreon, guys. More money might encourage more frequent gems releases. Because that episode of Gems got me thinking. Everybody's talking a lot of shit, and they have been for 10 years about still talking shit about Resident Evil 6. And I realized I'd never actually played it, and it was time for me to give it its due and give it a shot. Because as I predicted, the game goes on sale pretty frequently on the Switch eShop. And sure enough, I downloaded it over the weekend, and I've been playing a little bit. And, I was all ready to hate the game based on how bad the reviews were. But then I was all ready to kind of go into it with an opposite mindset and love the game despite that. Because, it's like, okay, everybody hates this. I'm going to find the reasons to love it. And
you went in looking for a reason to love because you're a big fan of blowing giraffes.
I just, exactly. Put the whole thing in my mouth, baby. I'll take it all.
I'm sorry. I just can't get past that logo.
Yeah, I know, man. It's, God, logo, it's something. But once you get past the logo by pressing start, the game itself is actually, it's a game. It's rough.
It sure is.
It's a bit rough. I was expecting it to be bad, and I don't think it's bad. And then, like I said, I was also expecting to find something that I thought was like fun and great and awesome. And I'm yet to find that. The thing that I'm mostly feeling, my unexpected feeling on this whole thing, is just somewhat confusion and just a little bit of not disappointment, because it's Capcom and I know what they do with things. They don't really listen to people, and they make their own things. But, I'm playing this and, reading about it and thinking about it. It feels like a missed opportunity, this game, man. This game came out 10 years ago. It came out in October of 2012. And it's, it's the second Resident Evil game on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox generation. And, I thought Resident Evil 5 was a lot of fun. It was an action-packed thrill ride. You're white knuckling it as Chris and his partner Sheva, and it's awesome. The finale of the game, you fucking knock Wesker into a volcano and shoot him with a rocket launcher. It's fucking amazing. It's like it's a super action movie game.
It's like Hayachi.
Yeah, man. These guys, they love getting knocked into volcanoes and dying. And so I thought, okay, Wesker's dead. The series will now find a new path going forward. And, people said Resident Evil 5 was too actiony. People said Resident Evil 4 was too actiony and not enough survival horror. Excuse me a second. And, people said Resident Evil 4 was too actiony, and then Resident Evil 5 was way too actiony. And so it's like, okay, it's going to find its way back to survival horror. And no, it didn't. Instead, it dialed the action up to an insaner, stupider degree. And it's like the most action game of all time. And it's just, I'm disappointed that Capcom didn't listen to anybody and just cranked this thing out and made this big mess. Because it's just, there's nuggets of a good game in here. It's just a big fucking mess. Like, you got multiple storylines. You're playing as Leon, and you're playing as Chris. So, it's the first game that lets you play as both Leon and Chris. Those guys are cool. And then you're also playing as Jake Muller. He's a mercenary who, when you start his story, you just drop right into it. You're on the front lines of some military mercenary thing going on in some unnamed Eastern European country. And meanwhile, there's all kinds of Resident Evil fucking zombie outbreak shit happening, and it's action from the word go. There's nothing horror about it. The only horrifying thing are the character designs. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's too actiony. Like, it's just, it never lets up from the fucking word go. Everything's just, there's buildings falling down. There's just big monsters fucking knocking shit all over the place. Machine guns. The fucking guys that are infected in this one, they're zombified, so they have a few extra eyes on their face, but they still use their guns. Like, if in this one, if you infect the military, they're still the military, but they're also zombies. So, that tells you the direction they're taking the whole horror aspect of it. It's just a shooter game. It's just, I might as well be playing fucking Uncharted for as many fucking nameless people as I'm blowing through in this game. It's just, I don't know. It's it just didn't go the direction that fucking they should have, and I don't understand why they did it. I feel like it didn't have enough time in the oven, man. Like, it came out in 2012. PlayStation 4 launched the next year. I feel like this should have been an early PlayStation 4 game instead of a late PlayStation 3 game. I think they could have used some more processing power, because some of the game, it's a little bit janky. The cutscenes look nice, the faces and the dialogue is fine, but like the action just feels like maybe they need a little bit more going on. I don't know, like just like processing wise, it feels like an old game. It feels like they took Resident Evil 5 and reskinned it instead of making a new one, and it's fun, but it's not. I don't know. It's just it's like a hat on a hat from Resident Evil 5, and so much so that, David, I know you don't really play much Resident Evil, but I bet you could probably tell me one of the chief things that people criticized about the gameplay of Resident Evil 5.
I feel like this is a loaded question.
I'm just saying, think back to something that people don't care for about Resident Evil 5.
See, I feel like there is an answer that is appropriate for the show and one that is not appropriate for the show. So I'm going to go with Chris Redfield punching boulders.
Oh, okay. Well, no, see, yeah, they wretched that up to 1 million. I was going to say it's the partner mechanics. People hated the partner shit in fucking Resident Evil 5. Like, when you're playing single player, you got an AI partner that sucks at everything and they waste all your herbs. And they kept that in fucking every like chapter of this. It's Leon and a partner, it's Chris and a partner, it's Jake and a partner. And it's just like, you guys couldn't even listen to them and just go back to a single fucking character experience. You had to do this partner shit again. Like, it's I don't understand it. It's it's not like, I'm not angry or anything, and it's not disappointment, because I knew I was gonna probably feel like this game kind of was shit, but it's just confusion at their unwillingness to make a better game. Like, just make something more horrifying and slightly less actiony, and get rid of the things that people didn't like about Resident Evil 5. You don't have to get rid of all of it. Just, pick one thing, like playing with two characters at the same time and having to rely on the computer to do something right. And they couldn't even do that. It's fascinating. But yeah, I'm glad they finally righted the ship. The last two seem like they really got this all figured out, because they've been releasing the first person ones, Village and Resident Evil 7 apparently are, great. There's that big woman in Resident Evil Village that everybody loves. Real big woman. And then they're doing the remakes of the original ones. And so, now they're wrapping back around. They're about to release Resident Evil 4 remake. So maybe they're going to release Resident Evil 6 remake eventually. Maybe it'll be really good. But man, like CX is saying in the chat, you can't give any ammo to your partner character because they just fucking waste it. It's like, yeah, I can't fucking, like, no, you do everything yourself and count on the partner character to not die or use up all your ammunition or fucking herbs. Like, it's insane that that's still a thing in this game. But I mean, as someone who likes the actiony Resident Evils, I like parts of the game. I'm having fun playing it, but it's just, it's like, oh, this is a fucking mess, and they should have made this better. Like, how did they think this was a good idea? Like, this is their path going forward. Like, hey, you didn't like Resident Evil 5. What if we did Resident Evil 5 with 3 interwoven storylines? No, motherfucker, go back to the basics. Like,
do you think if they remake Resident Evil 6 that they're going to change the logo or keep the giraffe pulling a guy logo? Guy pulling a giraffe logo.
That's the thing. The remakes have been using these kind of, just straightforward uniform fonts for their logo remakes. Red font for Resident for the R and the E on Resident Evil, and then it's cool looking nice font, but like the logos are going by the wayside, and I worry that they might redo the logo and lose part of what makes this game fucking baffling. Like if people just see Resident Evil in like a perfectly normal 6, they're not quite gonna get from the get-go that this game's all fucked up. Like,
I would like if they lean into it and actually made the logo officially into a giraffe being blown by a dude.
Animate it is what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh god,
Yes.
yeah. Can you imagine? You boot up the game, you get to the title screen, and not only is it the 6 with a giraffe, but like it's animated, like it is a straight up hentai logo.
I love also try to wrap my head around the logo. I got to find you can save videos of everything on the Switch. So, I've got the little random 30-second clips. When you finally get to the title screen of the game, like it does the animation where like, it's pulsating and there's weird sinewy things, and then there's spiders, and then there's like ugly bodies, and then it zooms out and all of it just forms into that 6. I'm like, God, why? Like, it's just so silly when that happens.
This is going to make tremendous sense for our podcast listeners, but Resident Evil 6.
Gluck, gluck, gluck.
Gluck gluck.
It should be them saying Resident Evil with a dick in their mouth. That should be
Oh, that was so much.
Oh God.
Why am I the only one that didn't do that impression?
Because you're the only one who has a dick in your mouth, Johnny.
Yeah.
Hey.
Give it a
missing
try,
out.
Johnny. It's great.
Yeah, Johnny.
It's like a sausage.
Why am I
can eat.
talking about this?
God, this just reminds me of a joke, but we shouldn't interject it into the podcast.
Nope, we shouldn't, because
Yeah.
Resident Evil 6 is great, and I have nothing really else to say about it. It's I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna beat it. I don't think it's gonna take very long to beat. I like the wacky action shit of it. Don't care much for the characterization on old Jake Muller, aka Wesker Jr. He's oh look, he doesn't want any part of this shit. Oh, he's a mercenary, and he's he's snarky. Fuck, great. Just love playing as a snarky mercenary. Jesse, you'll like this. I was playing, and I accidentally discovered as Jake, you can take people to Suplex City.
Ooh, that's good.
I walked up behind a zombie with a machine gun, and I fucking suplexed him, and he burst into flames.
God.
So,
As it should be.
it's also there's also the weird bloodless aspect of it, where like you kill things and they disintegrate into like flames and ash, and I'm like, that's a really weird thing to happen if you suplex somebody. That talk about a botch. Like, oh man, fucking broke his neck and he disintegrated. But yeah,
You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up.
Oh, hey, look, an herb.
I like the idea that they're, instead of zombies, they're all vampires, and you just suplex them into holy water.
Oh, well, that would be a whole different game that I'm not prepared to,
God, you
even
could
think
just
about.
dump holy water on your foot and then super kick a vampire.
Ooh.
Oh my God, we need to come up with this crazy.
And that's
killing
why there are so
vampires.
few vampire wrestlers.
Right. Man, we could be the first guys.
Gangrel's still around.
Yeah.
God, cut off your hands or replace them with like wooden stakes.
Yeah. You stab so many people in wrestling rings. Anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to playing and beating this and seeing how stupid it gets. But yeah, I would say, if it counts, to say that I'm feeling just baffled by so many decisions as opposed to disappointed or angry, then that's my pick for the theme.
You feel like you wasted your money.
No, and see, actually, and that is a fucking key to the whole thing. this game is one of the best-selling games in the series. This
Ooh.
game sold like hotcakes. Everybody fucking ate it up, and then they all hated it. But I knew I wasn't dropping 60 on this shit. I dropped 8. So no, I've gotten my $8 worth already. I played it for 3 hours. I could have gone and seen Glass Onion.
Fair
I didn't
enough.
get the chance. I played Resident Evil 6.
Ooh.
$8 well spent. I'm still going to watch
gotta
Glass
see
Onion.
that.
When
Fuck.
you only have until Tuesday, David. Oh, wait, that was yesterday. So now you can look forward to it on Netflix. And guys, we're moving on to the next game.
Game 3.
All right, guys. So this is the first game based on this series to be released on a home console in the United States. I'm getting a little pushback in the chat on whether or not my trivia is correct. Hold, please. Japan. Oops. Shit. Wow. It came out so... okay, so it's the second home console release. This is the first game on the PlayStation 2. I'll go ahead and give you that as a bonus hint. But yeah, there was PlayStation 1 game, several Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, and then this game.
I still feel confident in my answer.
I think you should. Johnny says Super Mario Maker 2. Sadly incorrect. David says John's Feeling Game. Sadly incorrect. And Jesse says Dynasty Warriors 6. Also sadly incorrect. You know, Jesse, if you had drawn that 6 as somebody blowing a giraffe, I might have given you a bonus point. You know, if it was somebody blowing Lubu,
man,
you know, then maybe we could talk. But no, guys, this is, of course, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelists of the Roses for the PlayStation 2.
This is clearly the fan request.
This is the fan request.
Can I guess who placed it?
Please.
Grimmery.
No, this is from Mork.
Oh.
Oh, I was... okay, never mind.
Do I want to ask why you think Grim placed this request?
I was just
love Yu-Gi-Oh!
I was trying to pick something besides Taylor was the gag.
Oh.
Because I'm pretty sure it's from Taylor.
It's from Mork.
Oh, okay. Wow.
See,
oh, wait,
like
I'm thinking of Digimon. Oh my god, I'm dumb, guys.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard Yu-Gi-Oh, it was like, oh, this is a request from... Oh, there's no way in hell that John would have picked a request from this person, so...
Sure. Whatever you're referring to. Point is, this is our fan request, and it's Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelists of the Roses. Guys, this is truly a baffling game. I was happy to see it come across the request thing, you know, not only first, but also just immediately defining how, you know, crazy this game is. So it's the Duelists of the Roses. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh game, as by Mork's description, that asks the question, what if the war for the English throne were fought using trading cards? Yes.
Well, wait, it wasn't?
No, unfortunately, from what I remember from history class, I'm not up on the War of the Roses, but no, this is not an accurate representation of the War of the Roses.
Oh. See, that confuses me because as I recall from someone who watched the anime, like Yu-Gi-Oh stems from the Egyptian pharaohs, so I
Yes.
feel like it was definitely around at the time of the War of the Roses. So I feel like that could have been handled by, duels.
I don't know.
That is a joke that nobody gets because apparently I'm the only one who watched the Yu-Gi-Oh anime.
I mean, I kind of figured I was only pausing briefly to continue talking. Yeah, I assume that was a reference to the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. No, I've never seen a single second of it. But this was too good to pass up. Yu-Gi-Oh, for some reason, taking place during the War of the Roses. You play as a unnamed, player character, and for some reason you're sucked back in time to feudal England, and you have to take a side in the War of the Roses. And King Henry VII, he prefers to be called Yugi. And go on, David, you got your hand up?
I was going to say, at first I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And then I realized, a game central to England based around Egyptian pharaohs, like, no, that makes perfect sense because the British monarchy is famous for stealing things from Egypt to put in England. So, you know what? Yeah, sure, that checks out.
Yeah, no, honestly, that aspect of it. Maybe Yu-Gi-Oh was an early anti-colonialist sentiment kind of game. Maybe no, I don't really have anywhere for that to go. No, it's utterly baffling. Yeah, you have to take a side. You're either on the side of the Lancasters or the side of the Yorks. Yeah, Yugi is Henry Tudor, and I guess his rival Seto is the head of the Yorks, and why any of this is happening is utterly just unknowable. I guess the previous game for PlayStation, you're sucked back in time, and it's actually so I guess Yu-Gi-Oh, he's possessed by the spirit of an ancient pharaoh, and that's the central thing to the games and the show. And so the original game being a split between modern world and ancient Egypt kind of makes sense. Why they followed that up by jumping from ancient Egypt to the War of the Roses, specifically the War of the Roses, is just perplexing.
Well, where would you set it at?
Well, I think a lot of history took place in between ancient Egypt and the War of the Roses. You could go to ancient China or Japan. Man, you could take. Can't go to America yet.
You could.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! And the natives.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the Vikings.
Yeah, like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pocahontas. You go that route.
Man. Yeah. God. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Vikings would be pretty good. Norse Yu-Gi-Oh!
I feel like Pocahontas is still several hundred years after the War
it
of the
is.
Roses.
Thank you,
It
Johnny.
absolutely is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
So-
Pocahontas the first, of course.
So, as I recall, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Based solely on the anime, which probably differs drastically from the game, there were several magical artifacts from ancient Egypt. And yeah, one of them was the Millennium Puzzle, which a young boy named Yugi inherited, which included the spirit of a pharaoh. So he could kind of swap between young boy and ancient pharaoh.
Right.
But there were other things. There was a Millennium Eye that a guy named Pegasus inherited, which let him see people's minds and whatnot. So that's the ancient Egypt connection.
Yeah. Yeah. And again,
what that has to do with the War of the Roses, no idea.
Right. I mean, but it
Were they
is kind
Egyptian
of fun.
roses?
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, those Desert Rose. Sting was so hot at the time.
Dude, you know what? I am going to take a brief moment to draw out this podcast so that I can check to see if there are even roses that are endemic to Egypt.
You could just let me talk and do that.
I thought you were gonna
Why'd
look
you
up,
do that?
I thought you were gonna look at the whole history of the War of the Roses, which it's multiple wars. It's
Yes,
quite a period of time.
I mean, it's like a 30 years period. It's not. It's not the 100 Years' War, Johnny. Let's not act like it's the largest war in feudal England or whatever. But I'm just. It's so funny.
England has been a part of significantly larger roses.
Roses.
Roses, which is the Egyptian term for war.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, apparently there were roses that grew in Europe, also known as Egypt.
David, all right.
I'm gonna stop talking for the rest of this
you
segment.
really should.
Yeah, stop researching whatever weird website you're on that says that roses are found in Europe.
English roses. God, knowing what sites you're searching on. Oh man.
So we all know the only good roses are from the Netherlands. There's no good roses in England.
Jesus Christ, John, you're thinking of tulips. Even I know that.
I'm
God
choking
damn.
on my own rage here, guys. Jeez.
So anyway, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. So you're playing as a guy, and you got to help the Lancasters of the Yorks collect special cards, of course, rose cards. The Yorkists have the white rose cards, and the Lancasters have the red rose cards. And if anybody gets all 16 cards, they can do a rose summoning, and it gives them an ultimate power.
Do they get to go to the Rose Bowl?
See, that'd be pretty good. That's where the final duel should take place. If only it were built at this time. But also, you as the character, you need all the cards to get enough power to go back to your time period and end this insane ass game. So
I would love to see a Yu-Gi-Oh game that takes place at the Rose Bowl, and it's narrated by Will Ferrell and Molly Shannon, and they're talking about everything but the Rose Bowl.
God, I don't know which of these things I have more of a distaste for. David fumbling over his Egyptian rose research, or you doing obscure SNL references right now, Johnny.
It wasn't SNL. This was like it was just like 2 years ago. Amazon put out a thing where they had Will Ferrell and Molly Shannon narrate the Rose Bowl in character, and a lot of people there had no idea that this was like a gag and were very upset about it. It was very funny. The people leaving all the negative reviews about how they didn't show any footage of the floats in the Rose Bowl.
It sounds hilarious.
It is, dude.
Yeah. There's enough hilarious things going on here just talking about how anime characters fit into the War of the Roses. But, Jesse, do you have some obscure tangent you'd like to take us on?
Not yet.
It's okay. I'm shutting it down. Mork, thank you for the request. I have nothing to say about this game. I can't imagine I would enjoy it because it's a card battle game on the PlayStation 2, and it feels like anime trying to give me a weird-ass history lesson. I'm not into it. But, great request. Just an utterly baffling game, and I appreciate something that unexpected for our unexpected show. Johnny, do you have some other SNL thing that you want to talk about now?
I got a fever.
Game
Oh,
4.
you didn't even finish the.
Is that it?
It's just the sound of a fire.
Rainstick.mp3.
Is game that white noise?
So the release date around this game is very controversial, but most people seem to believe that it came out 4.5 billion years ago. All right, gentlemen, let me see some guesses. Okay, ooh. John says the game of life. We'll let the judges handle that. David, what? The Hadean time period? That's way too specific. That's wrong. And Johnny with the correct answer, Earth.
I just want to say that 4.5 billion years ago is officially referred to as the Hadean time period for the planet Earth.
Oh, I see. Yeah, they didn't like that. I think that was what it was called in beta, and then when they fully released it, they just called it Earth. Yeah, this is Earth. So upon turning 40 this week, I realized I've wasted all my life playing video games and doing, video game stuff. And I figured I should, do as the kids say and touch grass. And I, feel the earth. So I went outside and I, listened to stuff and smelled the air and was like, man, it was either this or a fucking plumber, like jumping on lizards. Yeah, that's real fucking fun. I can go outside and like eat like a fruit off of a tree. That's pretty fucking cool. And have you seen the water graphics? There's some of the best water graphics I've ever fucking seen. It's incredible. And there's no like aliasing or whatever. How it makes like the lines look kind of like fuzzy. There's none of that. It's fucking brilliant. It's almost like, have you ever tried one of those VR headsets? Those are pretty cool. It's almost like that. Almost as good as that.
No aliasing, said by the guy who does not need glasses.
Yeah.
So, Jesse, I'm not in charge of the show. Technically, I'm Absurd King, but, John hosts the show and whatnot. But still, I question your choice of game, mainly because you're saying that you turned 40, and I can't believe that you're a day over 26.
Yeah, that's...
How long is the tutorial level of this game? That's what I'm curious about.
I think 40 years. So I'm starting to get into super hard mode because my knees don't work as great as they used to, and I have to take certain pills or I die, and that's not cool. So I'm definitely in the From Software part of the game.
How
are your bowel movements regular?
Yeah, that part's fairly regular.
Okay, good.
How often do they issue new patches and updates for the game? And are you satisfied with the latest updates?
It's usually every day there's a new update, and it's always they've nerfed something. Everything's getting nerfed. All gas prices. They used to be way better. I remember in the tutorial levels, one of my guides that was telling me how to play the game, they're like, go inside and give them $5 and tell them $5 on pump 1. And so I'd go in and then I'd complete that quest and come back, and that'd be 5 gallons of gasoline back then in the tutorial. That was pretty crazy.
Does the game have any kind of issues with like loot boxes and
Sometimes, like
yeah?
like there's this one area. It's called Las Vegas, and they have a bunch of places in there. Oh my god, Taylor. Yeah, women just got nerfed real fucking bad.
Oh,
I don't know if you saw that. So yeah, the patches and updates are horse shit. It sucks.
Do you have any issues with players who are clearly paying to win?
Yeah, it's definitely pay to win. Like there are so many microtransactions in this game. Like it is fucking horrible.
I apologize significantly for the amount of laughter from my track you're gonna have to cut out, but this is brilliant.
Yeah,
but I guess the class I am is like I'm a pet class because I can control 5 cats, and that's pretty cool.
Okay.
I mean they don't really help me get anything done or anything, but they're fun to look at and hold, and sometimes they make funny sounds, so that's pretty cool.
What was the unexpected feeling you experienced from playing this game, as per the theme?
So many fucking unexpected feelings, like every day is an unexpected feeling. If I want to be honest, a lot of regret. There's a lot of regret. A lot of guilt. There's so much unexpected guilt. That is a big thing. Like everything makes me feel guilty, and that's unexpected. Because stuff that I shouldn't feel guilty about, I feel guilty about. It's ridiculous.
Now, you said this game came out 4.5 billion years ago. Have there been any like good like expansion packs released for this game?
Well, okay, so when it first came out, they had a bunch of like weird animals and stuff, and then they're like, "Look, this isn't working. We're gonna, you know what they did in Final Fantasy 14 Reborn, where they just like had like a big meteor crash into the planet, and then they just changed the game like after a couple years.
Yeah.
So they kind of did that, and they got rid of
like a clean slate wipe kind of situation.
And then they added a whole bunch of new animals and stuff, and new monster designs.
Well, that's cool.
And it's really one of my favorite expansions was electricity. That was pretty cool.
Have you experienced any like game-breaking bugs while playing this game?
Oh, fucking all the time. So like Rent. That's a game-breaking bug.
I'm sorry. What Rent?
Yeah.
Like, have you figured out how to unlock fast travel in this game yet, or like how does moving around the game work?
Well, okay, so you can either walk like normal, or you can purchase a mount, and which I have it's a Volkswagen, and I think you can get different colors. I got this like kind of like chocolatey brown color, and you don't see it very often, so it might be like an ultra rare color. It's pretty cool.
How did IGN rate this game?
Probably like a 3.
All right, I think that's the end of my questions. I can't think of anything else.
I appreciated that, Johnny. That was fun. I had no idea where this was going to go, and you took it to a magical place.
I have one final question. Yes. Would you recommend this game?
Not really, but you're kind of like forced to play it, kind of.
Do they bundle the game with the console?
No. It is not on Game Pass, and I definitely think it is not perfect for Switch. Maybe Steam Deck. I don't know. The PC Master Race is weird, so it might be good on Steam Deck because you could add some cool mods. I bet the modding community is very good. So.
Ooh, have you seen what tell me more about the mods. Like what kind of mods can you get in this game?
Well, there's a lot of like body modifications you can get. Like I don't want any of that to like mess up any of my progress so far, so I haven't got any mods myself. But like some people can get like different like art on their skins and like
Oh, the game
like
is custom
different.
skins.
Yeah, it does. It's
Ooh.
very expensive and painful. So
All right, I got nothing else. All right, so David is dead. John, do you have any questions for Jesse about this game? Jesse, this game sounds pretty cool.
it's okay.
Yeah, it's 6 out of 10.
That's a hell of a development cycle. 4.5 billion years.
Yeah,
Woo.
and they're still working on it. I mean, they've done some really weird things lately, but they're still working on it. I think they have a new dev team. So,
but before we move on, I do have one thing to say to Jesse.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, you could have just said happy birthday, but yeah. Yeah, I feel bad because Jesse said he was anticipating getting game over before the show, but now, getting all reflective about, our existence and whatnot and his birthday. I feel bad game overing him. It feels like I'm sentencing him to death.
Well, good news, John. I don't.
Game over!
This is why it pays to have your show run by a nihilist, people. Yeah, Jesse, man, quite a game you've been playing these 40 years. The music kind of sucked ass, though.
well, I thought some of the music would give it away too easy. So I
Like
wanted
if you
to go
just
with,
used
like,
actual music from any moment in your life
I wanted
instead
to
of
be like,
environmental sounds.
yeah, like a nice soundscape,
Yeah. We've only been able to record music for a couple hundred years now, so
I love the idea of you like being afraid to play music that gives it away, like Terracotta and Fugue, like just very famous music.
right.
Oh,
man.
Jesse, is this all because we forgot to wish you a happy birthday? I'm so sorry, man.
No, you did wish me a happy birthday.
Jesse, thank you. That segment was a 10 out of 10, 11 out of, dare I say, 13 out of 10 segment for Game That Tune.
Well,
David's
that's
not in
good.
charge of anything regarding the show. His tastes are mad sus.
Excuse the fuck out of me. I'm king of the show.
No, just what sucks now is like fucking we just had Sinatra perform and now we're setting up the accordion player. Here's my game.
Game 5.
right, guys. So my trivia for this game is they just announced today there's going to be some new updates coming out the course of next year, including some new challenge modes, a photo mode, and new playable characters. All right. You guys got some answers?
I do.
Okay, so Jesse says Mad Magazine 64, which is correct, as is John and David's answer, Sonic Frontiers.
The Mad version would be Sonic Black Tears.
Hard disagree.
Sorry, Johnny, was that a hat trick?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Please explain to me how this is a hat trick.
Because he said Jesse's answer was correct. Johnny,
Yeah.
was this Resident Evil 6?
This is also Resident Evil 6.
Hit the sound. Or don't.
Resident Evil 6.
Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah. Does Sonic blow a giraffe in this game?
I haven't 100% it yet, so he still could.
God, yeah.
It's
Does Sonic have a giraffe friend?
If you
I
if
feel
you
like
were
he
designing
probably does.
if you were designing a Sonic giraffe character, what would you name it?
Blowy.
You beat me by 1 second.
Awesome. Glucky.
I
So,
want this game.
so I was not expecting to feel all the things that I felt during this game. Like, I feel like when I play games nowadays, I'm kind of dead inside. Like, a lot of times when I play games, I'm just like, whatever. I'm playing a game. It's passing some time. This is fine. And
This is something to bring me enjoyment, and half of me is dead.
and like this game was like, oh,
You said
wow.
half.
Like the second I start this game, I go through the first like intro level, I get the open world, and I'm immediately taken back to playing games like Oblivion and Skyrim. Like, oh wow, I can do things. Like, there's a skill tree. Oh
It's like
shit!
that.
Like, oh shit, there's a skill tree. Oh shit, I can level up my speed and my ring capacity and my, attack and defense. Oh my god! Like, hello. However, there's definitely not the level of side quests that you have in, say, Skyrim or Oblivion. The side quests are pretty minimal in this game, but that's fine. I love this game. I am in love with this game. This game is the best game I've played in quite some time.
It's the only game you played in quite some time.
Yes.
Are you talking about in terms of Sonic the Hedgehog or just like period?
Period. Like, this game's amazing. Oh God. Like,
This is the best Sonic game you've ever played?
It's up there. I'll say that. It's definitely the best 3D Sonic game I've ever played. I think this is up there with Sonic Adventures 1 and 2. Like, this is the sequel they never got.
It looks
So-
real neat.
The
So
thing
we
is,
know
Johnny,
it
those
will-
got sequels.
So we know it will never beat Sonic in 3, but will it beat Sonic CD?
Okay, so Sonic CD sucks ass one, right?
Yeah,
That's
Johnny
not-
doesn't even like Sonic CD.
No. Sonic CD has a
that's
great
why I was-
soundtrack, and that's about
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna say I won't hear one word against Boss with 3 exclamation points or Stardust Speedway, but that game sucks ass.
Yeah.
That's why I was giving him an easy answer.
But no,
He
so
doesn't need it. He just said it's the best game he's ever played.
yeah. So this game's awesome, and it was funny because David, when you were talking about the Pokemon game earlier, I was picking up a lot of parallels. Because you're talking about like Titan Pokemon, you fight enemies called Titans in this game, like the big bosses of each level is called a Titan. And you're
Yeah,
talking
but
about
it's totally not the same thing.
You're
Because
talking about
these
a-
are Pokemon as opposed to fucking badniks or whatever.
yeah, and you're talking about
What?
like, oh, there's a protagonist who is like gathering things, and in this game, like in your game he's gathering herbs, in my game they're Chaos Emeralds. Like, they're basically the same kind of story going on here.
They're totally different. Emeralds are gems and herbs are plants. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Johnny?
Yeah. So this game.
So it's
fucking
like
rules.
it's like the Yu-Gi-Oh game where they're trying to gather the cards. Yeah.
Cards,
you're get-
herbs, Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, exactly.
It's exactly the same thing. I mean, Sonic is basically the English monarchs, and Eggman is whoever is opposing the English monarchs in the War of the Roses. It's
Much
been
like-
a long time since I studied middle school history.
yes.
The point
Sonic is Henry VIII.
The point is, Sonic is an Egyptian pharaoh, and this is nothing like Pokemon.
Right.
So
That's a radio
Sonic the
spot
Eighth
if I've
I
ever heard
am.
one.
Sonic the Eighth, I am. Never married to a Tails or a Knuckles.
Sonic, much like Henry VIII, was rolling around at the speed of sound.
This game gets meta in the best ways, guys. Oh my god.
Don't
There's
spoil it. I want to play this game, but I have not yet.
All right, David can leave. Spoil it. I want to hear it.
Okay, so in the second level, when
Yeah.
you're with Knuckles, okay. Spoiler alert if you haven't made it to the second island yet. Okay, you're with Knuckles, and you're doing the thing, and you're exploring. Knuckles sees some ruins. He's like, "Wait, I recognize these," and it shows a screenshot from Sonic the Hedgehog fucking 3, like in its pixely glory. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
like awesome. Like, oh my god.
I feel like y'all are fucking with me.
No,
No,
we're
no,
not.
bring him in, David. Bring him in.
Come on back.
Bring him in. Come back. There you go.
No, those were authentic reactions.
No, that was a real spoiler, and those are real reactions.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Oh man. Oh,
and the
dick
boss
on
fights.
him.
I love the boss fights in this game. They get so fucking like anime big boss fight. Like that heavy metal soundtrack heavy metal song we heard was the first boss fight music. I'm not gonna spoil anything past the first boss fight, David. If I spoil anything, it's World 1, right?
Yeah. David doesn't want to know anything about Green Hills, Johnny. Don't tell him.
Wait, Green Hill Zone is in a Sonic game?
Right?
Yeah.
And
Spoilers.
it's in this. So they do a whole thing where you have these what they call the cyberspace levels that are based on like previous Sonic levels, basically. And the one thing that this is my one of two gripes with the game right now is that the cyberspace levels are only using a few Sonic games for inspiration. I wish they brought in more levels from more games, right? I'm not gonna say how many. What's that?
Maybe the movies.
Yeah, bring in stuff from the movies, maybe, or just more levels from the games, that'd be fine too. But they do the big hitters, like everyone's gonna recognize it kind of thing, right? I think that's kind of the idea.
I feel like there should have been more levels where Sonic was making out with a human woman.
Yes, yeah. Sonic kisses your ladies in this game.
Yeah, so
God,
far.
No, absolutely.
Well, how many men does he kiss?
There should
Also
be
0.
no levels based on Sonic 06.
Shouldn't there though?
No, God,
It's
no.
It's about time they owned up to it, man. They could
Yeah, there
retcon
should
it.
absolutely be a level in Sonic Frontiers based on Sonic 06 where Sonic just floats through the walls.
Yes. False wall zone. It's fantastic zone.
But yeah, the story is good, and it builds upon things from Sonic, 3, Sonic Adventure 2, like all of it. It's quite great. And so my other main gripe with this game though is you can collect these little critters and use them to upgrade your speed and ring stats, and then also in the game you can collect little like attack and power ups like icons. And there's a couple guys you go to trade in your attack and power ups for like upping your attack and defense. And then there's a guy you can go to where you train little dudes for increased ring capacity, increased speed. And that one, the increased ring capacity, increased speed, you have to choose on every single upgrade if you want to be speed or rings. And it, like, by the time I get to this dude, I've got like fucking 20 upgrades, and I have to go through every single one. Yes, I want speed. Yes, I want speed. Oh, yeah, no, I only want speed. I'm at like level 50 speed and like level 1 ring capacity. Like, I don't give a shit about the ring capacity. I want all speed, baby.
Right.
That's how I play Sonic.
Yeah, as long as the ring capacity doesn't go to 0, as long as you can hold a ring, then you're in business, baby.
Yeah. But I was like, well, I saw some reviewers saying like, well, they'll probably fix that. I'm like, nah, man, they're not gonna fix that. Like, this game's out. They're done. And then today they announced, oh, we got like 3 big updates coming. I'm like, oh shit, maybe they'll fix that. Like, oh wow. Because they're adding like new modes and new playable characters. So like once you're at that point, hopefully
Find that lack of faith in Sega disturbing, Johnny. They can fix things.
Yeah.
See, I like how you say like, oh no, the game's been released. It's done. Like, you've clearly not played a game since 2003.
I was gonna say Sega was patching games back on the Sega Genesis when they released Sonic and Knuckles, so Johnny should know about this.
You're right. You're right. You son of a bitch. You're right.
Yeah.
God damn it.
But man, yeah. I could see how that could be tedious. I feel like Breath of the Wild, comparing it to this, is fair in that case, because handing over all your Korok seeds to get your upgrades to the dancing like Korok guy, I feel like was equally tedious. He had to do his little dance every time, and then it's like, all right, choose your upgrade. I'm like, can we hurry this along? Yeah, please. There's a calamity encircling the palace. I have to go. No, you should tell me if you want a bigger, arrow bag. Fine.
I hear what you're saying, John, but also that was an adorable dance.
It was a great dance. When you get Sonic upgrades in this, does the character giving you the upgrade dance, Johnny?
No, he just says like, here you go, and you're done.
Okay.
God, I wish that this game like incorporated elements from the Sonic movies, and every time you upgraded Sonic, he did the floss.
Oh yeah, because we all love those Sonic movies, and
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah,
they're the best.
But
yeah,
the best part
every time you upgrade Sonic, he ruins a wedding, and there's an extended comedy bit where Sonic's not involved.
The best.
I like how you said like, "Oh yeah, we all love those Sonic movies," and then the three of us were like, "Yeah, they were really good."
Now,
yeah,
one complaint I've heard about this game is people complaining about that there's like giant rails in the sky throughout this game, which is true. And as you unlock parts of the map, more rails do appear.
I'm sorry, wait, are they saying giant sky rails that you can like grind on are a problem?
People say this, yes, but I say grinding fucking rules. Like, it is so
What?
satisfying
Yeah,
to grind on.
Where are we as a people that we're complaining about giant grinding sky rails? What the
Have you not
fuck?
played Tony Hawk? Like, you can grind
Yeah.
wherever you want, baby.
Dude,
Like,
put take your fucking like big boy game reviewer fucking hat off and go back in time to 2002. You would fucking eat this up.
You know, I remember I was watching a couple reviews for Sonic Frontiers, and people mentioned, like, yeah, it's weird that these grind rails just appear out of nowhere. It's like, have you played a Mario game? Like, solid brick is just floating in the sky.
Yeah,
Also,
I think
there-
it's
Nobody
bad.
seems to care.
there is an in-game explanation as well for why they're there.
Well, then there's literally no problem.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Please don't tell me, because I do want to play this game. And
David
spoilers.
doesn't want the existence of the rails spoiled.
So, okay, so
clearly-
David, you already know they're there. Basically, do you show up to the like? This is no David. Ah!
No, let him go. It's
All right,
okay.
all right. This is a you start the game spoiler. This is a you finish the tutorial spoiler. Okay, you. All right. So basically, there's an ancient civilization that used to live there, and they built these rails to help them get around. That's why there's rails all over the place. That's it.
No kidding.
It's pretty easy. All right.
Wow.
Nothing spoiled for
Unheard
David.
of.
So one thing I love about this game is the cyberspace levels have multiple objectives to hit to try to, beat them the best. And the objectives are like one objective is just beat it. Another is 5 to 5, red rings. There's beat it with so many rings. There's beat it with an S rank time. And on a lot of them, I do all of that without even really trying. Like on a lot of them, I'm like, okay, cool. Like I was kind of playing. I'm like, okay, there's a ring. Boom, get it. Oh, I get rings. And like next time, I'm like, oh, you hit all 4. I'm like, oh, dope. Except fucking level 1-2, the second stage of the first island, which was one of the songs I heard, that Fading to the Light song. Has
that one.
that fucking S rank time is like 55 seconds. The first time I played it, I beat it in like a minute 30. I was like, oh shit. Like I got knocked 35 seconds off of this.
Yeah, that's not good.
And then I try really hard. I got like 104. I'm like, oh my fucking God. Like, what is this? Like,
You're missing a secret somewhere, man. There's got to be like a gap that you can jump.
Yeah.
I was experiencing that playing Kirby and the Forgotten Land. They have all those little challenge maps, and it's like, yeah, the star clear time for this is like 40 seconds. I'm like, how the fuck? It's like, oh wait, yeah, I should be jumping over the gaps as the car instead of going around the whole track. Like, yeah, cool. But so just envision the puzzle differently, Johnny. Figure it out. I know you can. You're a Sonic expert.
so
basically, you should be playing that level not as Sonic, but as a car.
Play it as Johnny.
yes.
Think harder.
Johnny the car.
Yeah,
forgot-
Johnny the Hedgehog.
I forgot to mention, so you know how I said there's like a skill tree and all that? This is one of the few games that does not have a do everything button. You actually have multiple buttons that do different things, and you can actually do like get new skills and do combos in battle and things like that. In previous Sonic games, you jump and then like the homing icon appears and like you hit jump again to do the homing attack.
Yeah, I hate that.
This game's different. You got a separate homing attack button.
Good. It's
Yeah.
about fucking time.
Yeah, so you can like really chain things together in the way you want to do them. And like as you're playing the cyberspace levels, like just the flow of them just feels great. Like you're just constantly, if you're good, you're just like constantly moving. If you're bad, you won't be. But if you're good, you're just constantly moving through the stage, and like you hit a spring, you bounce up, you're like, oh shit, there's a thing, and you just like get over there, and it feels so good.
I imagine it feels great when you finally get that flow, especially with like just the big open worlds. I imagine you just kind of, by the end of this game, Johnny, you're just going to be some kind of fucking next level transcendent Sonic gamer.
Oh.
And nothing's ever going to work for you again. Like, you're never going to be able to recapture this feeling.
No, you're right. Like, yeah, the feeling I can get from this game is a new one that I'll never get again.
Mm-hmm.
You
How
have
unexpected.
and like it's nice because you can play the game how you want to. So like you don't have to play a lot of the cyberspace levels. You can instead, well, basically if you get all 4 objectives, you get a lot of things that you progress pretty quick. So you can either just like kick ass at the first couple of cyberspace levels and move on, or you can unlock multiple cyberspace levels. To unlock multiple cyberspace levels, you have to defeat mini bosses. And you can get to mini boss and be like, fuck that. Nope, I'm not doing that, dude. And just like get out of there and find different mini boss you want to do.
We've all
What
been
do you-
there before.
What
Yeah.
are you playing this on?
The Switch, and I will say the
Oh.
Switch version is probably the worst. There is a lot of fucking pop-in, and a lot of the textures are shit. Like you'll be in the middle of a cutscene and things pop in the middle of a cutscene.
Ooh.
Like the characters are standing in a field of grass, and then suddenly things pop in. You're like, oh my god.
But you're saying that the game is so good, you can have fun with it and kind of overlook those things?
Yeah, exactly. I can just look past all that shit.
Johnny, I got a great game that I think you might enjoy.
Yeah.
It's called Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, dude. After hearing Dave's description, I'm like, shit, man.
Yeah.
There really are a lot of parallels here. Like,
Full circle, you should probably play that game.
You know, there are times where I'm walking through Pokemon Violet and I'm looking at like animations of characters in the distance. Is like, wow, that is a solid 5 frames per second. But I don't even care because the game is so much fun.
Exactly. That's how Johnny clearly feels about this, man. Yeah, it's a new frontier for him.
I never thought I would feel good about a Sonic game ever again, and this game made me feel good about a Sonic
Now hold
game.
on, Johnny. In the time that this show has existed, we kind of had this same feeling when Sonic Mania came out.
Yeah.
You know, so
I
maybe
would-
you're
I'd-
just getting more optimistic with Sonic games.
I never thought I would feel as good about a 3D Sonic game ever again.
Right. Did you ever play Sonic Forces?
No, because it looked like trash, and I'm pretty sure it actually is trash.
Forces is trash.
I've heard-
Colors is okay.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
it was on Wii like 10 years ago.
Not on Switch, but
Right. Yeah, I've heard bad things about Forces and
It's
Ultimate Colors.
fine. I have colors on Switch. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. But I'm glad to see that Johnny gets a new 3D Sonic game that really just, I don't know, takes him back in time. That makes him feel, makes him feel a little bit of that sunshine that maybe he used to feel playing these Sonic games. Can you feel it?
I can feel the
can you
sunshine.
feel sunshine?
I-
God, fuck you for making me sing a Sonic R track.
Hang that lampshade on the bit even harder, David. Thank you.
Yeah, so far, 0 Sonic R references in this game, but with new updates coming out, maybe they'll bring stuff in. Maybe they'll bring in, Tails doll.
Maybe they
I
will.
hope not.
It'd be great if you could just encounter like you're just exploring the world and you find all the tracks from Sonic R just like sitting there and you just get to run on them. I think that'd be
Oh,
great.
God.
Yeah.
Just
Pretty
I'm
good.
not
high
even that
Sonic
big
R
of a
levels.
Sonic fan, and I have such a visceral hatred for Sonic R.
Yeah, as you should.
I guess. I like the music. Anyway, Johnny, we could do hours and hours on this clearly. But,
Okay.
that's all for the bonus show. We got to get people to bed. So
All right.
you gotta bring this thing home, man. Is there any last thoughts on Sonic Frontiers?
It rules. It averaged a 7 out of 10, which for most game series that sucks. But for Sonic fans, like, let's fucking go! Like, awesome! It's an adequate Sonic game.
Yeah.
It's accurate. Like, it is adequate. It's got some janky camera controls. Sometimes it glitches a little bit, but like, that's fine. I don't give a shit about that. The actual game.
I'm
is
so
great.
past the point of giving a shit about what a review says, unless it's literally warning me not to play the game because it's unplayably broken.
Yeah.
Fuck a review. Like Sonic games, no, they don't adhere to a traditional scoring system. We've known that for 2 decades at least.
Yeah.
So, so it goes. If you're having fun, that's what fucking matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
See also.
Calculating computer activated. Computers, beeps,
Oh, sorry, I was checking up on the chat. What was that?
beeps. Scoring complete.
Johnny wins.
This game's winner is John Regan.
No kidding. He brought the best game. He scored the most points. Johnny, this truly, in line with the theme, an unexpected feeling. What an unexpected feeling you must be feeling by just flat out winning the episode.
Yeah, like legitimately for once.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
scoring the most points and also bringing the best game of the night. I mean, Johnny, wow, man, fantastic. Just good for you.
I love the idea of like the theme is unexpected feelings, and John, you must be feeling happy for winning.
Right. Yeah. I'm not even saying happy, just unexpected. Congratulations, Johnny. You've won the episode. You are the unexpected champion, and that means you've got to think on your feet, and you got to give us a fantastic theme for next week's episode. So, yeah, exactly. Here it comes.
All right, so
keeping in mind, next week's episode is episode 316.
Okay, next week's episode is Bible games.
We already. I think we already did that one recently.
Wrestling games, though. Let's see.
Yeah, that's where I was guiding you.
Yeah.
Games with stones, games that are cold.
Games set in Austin, Texas,
and games with Steve.
I'm going to. I'm going to do. I'm thinking of wrestling games, but I'm going to expand a bit and just say fighting in general. So it could be wrestling, it could be MMA, it could be fighting. Any kind of game where you're fighting each other is, that's the theme. Any fighting-esque game, which includes wrestling and so on. Yeah.
Good. Now, are we talking one-on-one fighting, or are we talking about like one person fighting multiple people?
Yeah, either.
Including those beat 'em ups.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Lots. Like, as long as there's some element of fighting, and not just like stomping or jumping. Like you actually punch and kick. It's got to be a real fight kind of game.
Yes. Good. Very good, Johnny.
See, next week's theme, games where you fight people.
Yeah.
Or things. I don't want to exclude like kangaroos and shit,
Right, yeah. You can't, games in which there is
games in which you beat the shit out of kangaroos.
Yeah, elements of combat.
But it can't be like games where you fight alcoholism. You have to fight a physical thing.
Yeah. Games in which you engage in fisticuffs.
I'm glad that you specified that, because clearly we don't fight alcoholism on this show.
A lively fisting.
God, I can't wait for you guys to hear the recording of me getting like punched in like bars and stuff.
Yeah, God, Jesse's bringing back Earth, the game, next week. Jesse getting in all those bar fights in Jacksonville. Oh, those were the days. Those Wesley Willis shows.
My God.
Oh, Jacksonville.
Rock over London. Rock on, Chicago.
Yeah. Anyway, God, we never should have fucked with Wesley Willis. Johnny, great theme, and guys, great episode. What a show! And man, thank you everybody so much for listening. Thanks to everybody watching live with us. We're live every Wednesday night. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. Search for Game That Tune. We love you guys watching live with us. Thank you to everybody listening in podcast form. Our podcasts are available anywhere you get your podcast. GameThatTune.com. We just did our Spotify wrap for the year, and man, we got listeners in 12 different countries. So, that's not very many. We want to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. That's
let's get all countries. 50 countries. Come on.
Simply not enough. Going to need all the countries listening in Game That Tune. So if you know a foreigner, tell them about Game That Tune and tell them to check it out.
If they don't understand you, just say it louder.
Why the fuck aren't you listening?
Yeah. I think Australia probably is listening. They speak speak it English. Thank you to our requester tonight. Our requester was Mork. Mork is a fantastic Patreon Absurd fan, and they made a fantastic request via our Discord. That's the best place to make it, or you can make them at GameThatTune.club. And thank you to everybody checking out Patreon, which I mentioned it out of order, but yeah, patreon.com/GameThatTune. It's the home for our awesome exclusives. We've got mixtapes. We've got Game That Tune gems. We've been publishing a shitload of Game That Tune gems recently. We are catching up on Game That Tune gems. We're getting our movie nights going again. Go to Discord to vote in our movie night polls. We're going to be watching some movies together, and patreon.com/Game That Tune gets you VIP access to movie nights where you get to watch along to crazy ass movies with us.
I believe this episode is going to come out on the day that we're doing a new movie night. So hopefully y'all can tune in and enjoy the movie that you selected by visiting us at Discord at GTT.
Yes, if you're listening on Tuesday morning and you want to watch a movie with us Tuesday night, hit up Patreon or join us in Discord, whatever floats your boat. And of course, Patreon supports us by keeping the lights on at our 24/7 video game music live stream. That's radio.gamethattune.com, gtt.rocks. If you see that name, you know it's the home for video game music on the internet. And we love you guys checking this out. Special shout out to our absurd fans on Patreon: Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, Daniel Perky, Taylor Y, Sam L, Grimmery, Phoenix Tier 2121, and Unsaddled Zebra. Just a great gang that we got there at Patreon. Just a great group of supporters. We love all you guys so much. Thank you all so much for listening. And Johnny, it's time for you to take us home with bonus tunes.
Well, I decided to pick one of the best songs from one of the worst Sonic games. My bonus tune from tonight is Stardust Speedway Present from the Japanese soundtrack.
Oh, that's the best one.
Yeah,
yeah, good. Thank God. We love you guys. Peace out, everybody. Fucking playing the mic. Johnny, how dare you fade that early, man? I was just starting to get funky. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is copyright 2022 Game Freak Incorporated, Nintendo of America Incorporated, and the Pokemon Company Limited. Resident Evil 6 is copyright 2012 Capcom Company Limited. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelists of the Roses is copyright 2003 Konami. Sonic Frontiers is copyright 2022 Sega Games Company Limited.